everyone, welcome back to the channel. I just got the GoPro Hero 9 for Christmas gift from my wife. Thank you very much. It's it's a great little camera. I'm a big fan of the GoPros. I'm upgrading from the Hero 7. I never owned the Hero 8, so I just wanted to talk about some of the things, observations I like about it, maybe don't like, and then I want to go into my settings. I like to customize the settings in the Heroes, in the GoPros, Heroes, however you want to say it, to get the kind of the video quality, the video quality you see them in the promotional videos, because you kind of don't get that just on the auto settings right out of the box. So let me kind of go over some of the stuff first, then we'll I try to demonstrate on the back of the camera the settings that I've used in the video that you're going to see in the later part of this. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay. Alright folks, so here is the the Hero 9, GoPro Hero 9, just released this fall. The GoPros typically come out the end of September, early October. So here's something. I knew that it was bigger than the previous Heroes, but I didn't know how much bigger. You can get them side by side, stack them on top of each other. The Hero 9 is substantially bigger than the Hero 7. It's not just a small size difference. It's it's a pretty big size difference, and definitely feels heavier also. So, like I said, you can. What the best way to see them is there. Maybe that's it there. So it's a little bit bigger. So any of your cages or whatever aren't going to fit the new one. The new one, you needed the special thing at the bottom to attach it to GoPro accessories. But this has the same thing the Hero 8 has the two things to pull out. So you don't actually need to have a cage on it to attach to your GoPro accessories. So that's a that's the first major thing there. And whether the size is a con or not, that's up to you. And now here, here's the box that it came in. It's a bit no unboxing here. It's already been opened. But the previous Heroes came in, or at least the 7 came in like a blister pack. Like a basically something a wasteful blister pack of a bunch of plastic. It was hard to get into. Where this came inside this box, this came in. It's like a little case. With cutouts here for the camera itself, and then your accessories over here. So and a little goodie compartment up top there. So with the single zipper here. So that's handy. I mean, I typically would stick my GoPro in like a kind of like one of the lens slots in my camera bag or a pocket or whatever. But for somebody that's only taking the the Hero out with them, good little case, and this is perfectly removable here, so you don't need to have this plastic piece in here. So, okay. So anywho, that's that, that part of it. And, it comes with one battery. I got a spare battery for it, and also I got the dual charging kit, which comes with a spare battery also. So now I have 3 batteries. And here's the interesting thing. Here's the current dual charger for the the 9, and here is the dual charger that was for the the 7, and this new one's like much smaller, more compact to travel with. So I would consider that a good thing. So there's that, and the batteries. I don't have a I do have a Hero 7 battery. Here's the Hero 9 battery. And we're going to compare that to the Hero 7 battery. Oops. That stuff always happens when you're trying to hurry. So I'm not going to hurry anymore. So you can see the Hero 9 is considerably bigger than the Hero 7 battery. And of course with that you get more battery life out of it. So that's a good thing, as opposed to the bad thing that it's bigger, a little bit heavier. So so that's it on the batteries. I don't know the voltage and all that stuff. You can look it up in the specs. It just, this one, just holds more charges, is all we're going to cover in this video. Any, learn all about the specs and numbers, somebody else will have a video covering that. So you get one of these GoPro sticky mounts in the box, a curved one actually, that to put on maybe a bike or some kind of a thing that's got a curve on it. Of course, the slot here to put it in, and one of the GoPro screws here. So you get all that in that box I was showing you over here, and then you get some paraphernalia here, some instructions, and subscribe to GoPro, and a quick start guide. I think this may have been an Amazon deal, but we got a memory card with ours. I'm not saying it comes from a factory with a memory card. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But if you buy from some Amazon sellers, you'll get a memory card with it too. That's kind of the basics here of rather than doing a big unboxing. That's the basics of what you get with it. The nice thing on the 9 is that you go back to the removable lens cover. So if you scratch or break that lens, you could affordably replace it yourself rather than an expensive repair like you had on the 8. And it's kind of got an odd way to open the side up here. You pull that this direction, then you open up and you got the spare battery in there, and you got the memory card. Also to that, it's hard to see, but the memory card's right up top there. It's kind of hard to get it out if you leave the battery in. It's not impossible, but it's tough. So then you just push it like that and it's closed. And this is waterproof, down to 30 meters, I think. Again, you can read that and inspect some places. And one of the big home run features here has the front screen on it, like you find on the Osmo Action from DJI. So you get the same picture in the front and the back. But if you're a vlogger, you can aim this at yourself and center yourself in that little front-facing window. And the nice thing about this, unlike the Osmo Action, you can only have one of these windows going at a time. Where this one, you can have the picture on the front and the back at the same time. I guess I don't know how that helps you in any certain situation, but I guess it is somewhat of a minor plus. And you'll see the video that I'm going to show you in a second here. But it seems like when you're doing a vlog and you have that facing yourself, it seems like the mic here is better than the mic, I guess, on the back there. So if you want the best sound quality, you almost want to do that where you're kind of walking and having the camera face you, because that mic here picks up your voice better than when you're talking from behind, even though it has other mics around. I guess that's a little mic up top. So again, record videos. That's the best way there. When you're having it back of you, you probably should have another option to record the audio. So okay. That's it on just the kind of the going over the rough things here. We will, next part of the video, I'm probably going to roll some of the video clip for you, and then I'm going to insert a thing where I try to show you the settings on the back of the the camera, my special settings for getting better video, my fine tuning, if you want to say. And here's another con right out of the box, and I'll go more to this one. I'm showing you the settings on the back here in the back LCD panel. But the reaction to your touch is much slower than it was on the 7. It wasn't good on the 7. It's really bad on this. I hope that can be updated with a firmware upgrade down the road. But it is extremely slow reacted to your touch screen here. Hi, this is Ron. I'm doing a little test of the GoPro Hero 9. I've kind of dialed in some of my own settings here. We're going to go for a walk on the beach here. But one thing we have on is, of course, Hyper Smooth, but I have Hyper Smooth Boost on. So let's see how that helps see if it makes it more stable or not. We're going to go down here, walk down the beach here. Maybe walk down towards the pier. So I'm using of course, that new monitor on the front to center myself in this video here, which is very helpful. It's a very bright screen, easy to see. I'm in a shadow now, but still it makes it very easy to use. So once we get up top here to the top of the dune, we will turn around. I've turned wind noise reduction off. It's not particularly windy here, plus I think the wind reduction noise kind of
degrades the sound quality on it too. So we're gonna see how it goes without the window. You know, the rule 4/3 lines on here, so hopefully looks good. Okay, I'm gonna turn towards the sun a little bit here. We'll see how it handles the exposure here. I have the exposure compensation on 0 right now. Of course, you don't get a histogram on here like you do on other devices to tell you, you know, how you're doing as far as exposure compensation. So we'll just leave it on 0 for now. See if we can fix it in post if it needs to be. I turned GoPro color off. I turned flat color profile on. You know, I know people love the look of the GoPro colors, and I do too, but I'm going to just try it in the flat profile to see how it looks there too, and see if I can punch it up and post if need be. Now what I'm shooting here is in the camera linear plus horizon leveling. So let's see if it keeps my horizon level as I'm kind of walking along the beach here, and I'm changing my level constantly here during this walk, because you know, most beaches, well, the beaches here in New Jersey are not flat by any means. So and usually when you're down by the water here, you see kind of a curved horizon too at the beach, kind of on all your devices. And you know, I don't know, that just makes it hard for devices to work at sea level, or whether that's just the way it really is. It's hard to tell because you don't notice it with the human eye as much as you do. But I see it in all my devices, my GoPros, iPhones, cameras such as the Panasonic GH5, and in the drones too. You see it from the drones, the kind of like I'm going to call it crooked warped horizon here at the shoreline. So I'm walking down here towards the Margate Fishing Pier. It's December 29th today, so it is very cold out here, but we got a warm winter sun, and we have mild winds today. So, and the ocean here, even though the ocean's cold, the ocean is actually, you know, of course, warmer than the air at this point. So it kind of you know, the breeze off the ocean is again a little bit warmer than the air temperature at this point, so that kind of makes a difference too. So as I'm walking along here, I'm going to turn this back to your normal GoPro settings here, so you can see what it looks like. So this is my super settings, and I will go over all my settings when we get back to the desktop portion of this review. So let me.
All right, I'm back here. So yeah, we're going to attempt to get a little bit better video by you know, tweaking the settings here on the Hero 9. So first off, if you don't have any experience with the Hero 9, you have the on-off button on the left side here if it's a backs to you. So just hold down for just a few seconds and you'll hear it beep and come on. And it comes on in whatever mode you had it last. That's in movie mode now, but if you wanted to change it to another mode, you would just hit it once. Photo, time lapse, or back to video. So we're going to go with the video settings now. I'm not going to go over the whole thing here. There's other videos where people show you how to set up every little thing on it. But okay, I have it in what they call cinematic. It's a prefab setting here, but I have customized it to my liking. So let's tap it again. Here you're going to see the annoying slowness of the touch screen here. So okay, we're in cinematic. So you see that kind of pencil over here where you can make changes. And it has a standard, active, slow-mo. So these are all prefabs. And I don't think I've customized anything but cinematic. So let's hit the thing there, and I see it already didn't do it right. It took it back to this menu here. So let me hold it again. Maybe it's a matter of fat finger, but yeah, okay. There we go. Now let's see if I can hit that little pencil here to make my changes this time. Okay, so here we're into finally got into my settings here. So here you go. You can see up here we got the 4K 30. So that's what I want. You could bump it up to. I hate to hit these things. You could bump up the 5K. It's you know warned me that this resolution the FPV your phone are compatible. Yeah, you must support the HEVC EVC file this time. So mine does. Let me hit don't show again. So, okay, we'll bump it up to, and then we'll even make it more cinematic by going 24 frames per second. Okay, so we're done with that. So the get back, which is always tough because there's no back buttons. Just hit that, and you should get back. Okay, now I have on lens. I have it on linear NHL. So you're going to say, well, what's that? Well, linear and horizon leveling. So that means it'll always keep the horizon level no matter how I move the camera around. So you have your choices here. You could go linear without horizon level. You could go wide, and you could go all the way to the bottom. The from the top is wide. Um, I think that's linear without the horizon leveling is 2, and the bottom one is, I believe, the narrow. Yeah, narrow, which is 27 meters. It's nice. It tells you that, and I want it on. There's just plain linear, and there's wide. So let me go back and hopefully see. It's really, this touch screen is really stinks. Hopefully it can be improved in firmware, but I have my doubts. I hate to even show you all the settings in here because I can never get back to the ones that I want. Yeah, look at that. I mean, I can never get it right back. Well, look, it always goes to what I don't want. Okay, I think we finally got back to what we want here. So let's go back here. Now I have it on hyper smooth. I'm not going to go through all these things because I'm going to get stuck in each one with the bad touchscreen here. But I have it on hyper smooth. You can go, off, hyper smooth, or boost. I have it on boost, which even makes it that much better. Which of course, every time you turn these settings up, you're going to use more of the device's processor. You choose the batteries faster. So boost will give you a cost at some point. So yeah, again, this is so frustrating. I'm just gonna tell you rather than show you because, again, I'll never get through. So you have scheduled catcher. Say if you wanted to do a sunrise and you wanted to, like you were still in bed, so you could have it going at a certain time. So that's what that's for. The duration, no limit. You could have it recorded no more than 10 or 15 minutes or anything you wanted to, but I want no duration because sometimes I want to make a half hour video. Of course, it'll chew my battery down, so you got to know that. Now, hindsight, what that does is it allows you to record video before you're even, shooting. So say you're in a situation where something good may happen, but you're not sure when, or what time it'll happen. So what that does is it records 15 seconds of video before you even hit the record button, so you don't miss anything. It's kind of, I have it on. Of course, it's going to use the more battery to do it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get a value out of it. So I may turn that off in the future. So let's go down to another level here. Okay, we got timer. I have no timer set. You all know what timers are. You want it to come on in 10 seconds after you have time to run and get back in the video, just like on cameras jumping your selfies. And of course, it has zoom lens. We're going to keep it at 1x because this is a digital zoom. Okay, then we get down to the Protune feature here, and I always turn bit rate on high. If you turn it on high, it's like 100 bits per second, so you get better quality video at the cost, again, of battery life. Shutter, I have it on auto, but of course you can set that to, say you want to do a real, cinematic type thing. So say you're recording 4K 5K 24, which I'm doing. I could set that shutter to 48 or 50 frames per second to get the proper, shutter speed motion blur in my video. Eevee Comp, I have it turned to -1. In most cases, I think the GoPro and Hero 9 as well overexposes the video in bright daylight. So I kind of turn that down so I don't always have an overexposed video. Now, of course, if you get closer to things like sunset or sunrise, you may want to bump that back to 0 again. Now, white balance, I find I never want to leave the GoPro on auto white balance. You're going to, in most cases, not get the right white balance. So I've tested this, and I like 5500 the best. The 9 tends to make things a little on the warm side. So 55 seems about right. I mean, I usually set white balance anywhere from 56 to 58 as a general purpose white balance on most devices. But like I said, this seems to warm it up a little bit, so I'm going with 55. Okay, ISO a minimum 100. You want to keep it low like that, so you keep digital noise down, and this is best for bright daylight and things like that. Plenty of light. 100 iOS works really good. So it keeps the noise down. Now iOS maximum 3200. Hold on, let me get that back again. It went to sleep there. 3200. You may say, well, that's awful high for a little camera like this with a small sensor, and I do agree. But the problem is if you don't max out your iOS like that to 3200. Which will get you a lot of digital noise if it gets up anywhere near 3200. But if you don't put it up high, if it's not getting enough light to the sensor, the electronic image stabilization will stop working. The hyper smooth feature will stop working the way it's supposed to. So the short thing is I would rather have a little grain in my video than have a little bumpiness in my video from a little unsteadiness from not having the hyper smooth do its job. So that's all personal choice, and that could vary from situation to situation. Okay, let's move up a little bit. Okay, sharpness, have it on medium. These devices, GoPros, and this one included, tend to over sharpen. So you may want to go low there, but I'm going to just go medium. But I may even put that low in certain situations. And now color, it's on a GoPro here, but you may want to even take that down to flat. If you don't want everything to have an explosion of colors. Now, some people look at that. I mean, that touchscreen is terrible. Some people, love the way GoPros look, and I do too. And in some situations, I will use the GoPro color, but in other situations, I will use the flat color, which allows me to color grade a little bit in post to make the decisions myself. Okay, raw audio. I don't know why raw audio is not available here. Maybe you need the media mod to adjust raw audio. I do not know why that is grayed out. And here we go again. Bad touchscreen. Okay, now it has a wind setting there to reduce the wind. Now I always find that not only does it reduce the wind, but it reduces the quality of your voice. So you're getting less wind if you're trying to. Maybe if you're just on a video where you're not talking in it, that would be a setting that you would want to go with. But if you're trying to talk, it mutes more of your vocals out than it does the wind in my mind. And there's a setting for the the media mod using the camera mics. Again, I don't know why the raw audio is NA here. And shortcuts here. You can, on that main screen, you have 4 different icons near the bottom of the screen on either side. And you can adjust those to be anything you want. Like lower left of mine, you can change the lens, and that means from the the wide angle, the narrow, the linear. The lower right was your zoom, your digital zoom feature. The upper left was your slow-mo feature. And the upper right was a hyper smooth feature we talked about. Mine's on, well, that says hyper smooth there. I just set mine to boost and thing. So I find these settings I have in place here. I think that's it after. Yeah, it's no more. I find that these settings, definitely help make the video look a little bit better, make it more look like those GoPro commercials. And if you keep it in the the standard settings, which again, some people, the standard settings aren't bad in every situation, but in the situations I like to shoot, daylight situations, a lot of sun, it just seems that those settings, just don't work for me most of the time. So want to try these out, let me know how you make out with them. And okay, now back to seeing some of the results of these settings. Okay, here's kind of normal GoPro settings here without my customization to it. So you'll see, compare this to the footage I just shot with we'll call it with rod settings here. I do like the fact that I'm upgrading from the Hero 7. I did not have the Hero 8, so I do love that we have the
rule of thirds. I'm going to call it tic-tac-toe box in the middle here to help keep my shots level. If the Hero 7 had that feature, I never found it to turn it on. So yeah, I love it in the Hero 9 here. So yeah, we're gonna want to see how the colors compare here to my settings, and how the we're gonna call it stabilization holds up here. Now, of course, this uses electronic image stabilization as opposed to devices like the Osmo Mobile 4, which uses a 3-axis mechanical gimbal. And a lot of people feel that the ESI, the electronic image stabilization on the later GoPros, like 7, 8, and especially the 9, are just as good, or almost just as good, as a 3-axis mechanical gimbal. So you'll let you be the judge of that as you're watching this video here. And I'm just kind of hand holding it here. I'm not doing any, like, they call it the gimbal walk, the funny duck walk type of thing to I'm sorry, I'm adjusting my hands here to to keep it A-stable. I'm just kind of bebopping along here, just holding it on like a little stick here. And the 9, I'm going to show you this on the tabletop portion of this video here, review that the Hero 9 is a much bigger camera than the Hero 7. I knew that it was bigger, but I didn't realize how much bigger it really was. It's much larger, and the batteries are much larger also, but the batteries have a bit more of a charge here. So that definitely is a good strong point. Because if you're using like 4K 30 video, you could chew through some battery life really fast, especially if you have all the stuff like hyper smooth and all that on. It can really chew through your battery use here. So I'm going to stop and switch it back to the my settings again as we approach the pier here. Okay, we're back to my settings here, which are basically 4K 30, white balance of 5500, GoPro color turn to flat. I bumped the ISO up to a maximum of 3200, and we're a minimum of 100. I'm going to show you all this in the desktop portion of the video here. So we're approaching one of the outfall pipes here. There's one on either side of the Margate fishing pier, which is recently restored. It was what we did. We had a beach reconstruction project a couple years ago, and it made the pier really not stick out in the water that far anymore. So just last winter they extended the pier out, way over the water again. So it makes it good for the local fishermen. This is a private fishing pier. You pay your dues, you join, for the summer, for the year, and yeah, that's how it works. They got a big grant to of money, of millions of dollars, to extend that fishing pier out again. So it looked pretty funny a couple years ago when the beach was really wide, and at one point the pier did not even hang out over the ocean anymore. So yeah, strange days indeed, folks. So I'm almost to the fishing pier here. We'll walk through the fishing pier, then we'll walk back towards the sun. It's only a few, maybe like 15-20 minutes before sunset here. So we'll walk back towards the sun and see how it handles the exposure from the, the bright sunlight. So maybe I would do test slow motion here as we get under the fishing pier here. So only one other brave soul walking this cold beach with me. He's kind of exploring around too. I think I saw him taking some pictures of some shells and so on. So yeah, this beach is pretty crowded in the summertime, of course, but you get your privacy here in the winter months. Yeah, he's taking some looks like cell phone pictures. She's getting some shots. You know, just like me, exploring around. You know, they love to explore with their cameras. So, all right, as I'm approaching this fishing pier here, we're gonna try some slow-mo here. We don't have very big waves today, but we'll do what we can here. All right, here we're on the other side of the Margate fishing pier. We're gonna be walking back into the sun. See how this handles the exposure here. Okay, I'm gonna pan here to the right here as we're walking underneath the pier. That sun's sinking below the horizon here. It's always a neat shot, kind of walking through the pier here. Got a truck here on the beach, so I'm gonna see how this handles this bright exposure, because I have no filters or anything on here. So let's see how it handles the low light underneath the pier at this point. It'd be neat if I could do a dolly zoom here, but alrighty. We're walking just along the shoreline here. We got the exposure. We're gonna try to frame this up here with that setting sun in the kind of roll of 4/3 there. And this is back to Ron's settings here. I went over them before, I won't say them again. I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is 4K 30 color profile flat versus the GoPro white balance 5500 iOS. Minimum, minimum 100, maximum 3200. So you can almost walk around the outside of the outfall pipe here, but not quite. So we're gonna go inland a little bit here to get over this outfall pipe. Not as young as I used to be, or I'd hop over it. So we'll get back along the beach here where we get a better view of the sun here in a second. So I'll cut this part out here while I'm walking a long way around. Old man walking a long way around. So we're really hitting the low light here, so we're going to see how that 3200 iOS is helping us here as the sun disappeared behind the tall buildings, the tall condo units at the other end of the beach here. Because the people had to be on the beach, dog walkers and whatnot. But yeah, folks, so I hope this was a good test of trying to get your settings and dialed in for the Hero 9, because if you just shoot on pure auto, I mean, you'll get some, you know, okay looking video, because it's a, you know, amazing little camera here. So, you know, if you want to do Dr. Auto it, yeah, you'll get some good video, you know, especially depending on what the light is and the situation. But if you really want to get a video that looks like the GoPro commercials, you're going to have to, you know, work on dialing your settings here. So we'll see if I can. This water, these waves are so gentle here, it looks like I'm on the bay or something. But see if I can catch some of the color along the water here. I'm going to actually, the moon's looking good. I'm going to hurry up, try to get back to my car and get my DSLR out and get a picture of the sun while it's still kind of low in the sky here. So thanks for joining me on another episode of Ron's photography journey here. Ron's adventures in photography, and I highly recommend the Hero 9. I do. Is it a worthy upgrade from 7 or 8? Maybe not. But it's definitely a good camera if you have an older GoPro or no action camera at all, and you want something for on the go. I mean, if you don't do any rugged activities whatsoever and need a rugged unit like the Hero 9, maybe you don't need it, maybe you just need your phone and maybe like a gimbal like the OM4. But this, you know, of course, this is much more rugged, waterproof. You can drop it. I think it's more resistant to changes in temperature as far as cold, heat. So there's reasons for it, and it's you know, it's a good enough little camera. It's kind of all you need if you're just kind of a vlogger. You know, you want to do a lot of talking head videos. There we go. I'm you know, of course, the sun's on the other side now, so as I say, I like having this front-facing screen so I can really line myself up in it like I've never had before. So let me turn this around here and kind of get the cinematic shot of me walking along the ocean here like I'm a, you know, professional documentary filmmaker here. So no, this is really cool. It's no denying it, and I hope the sound's coming out. If the sound doesn't come out, I'll just do a voiceover, but I think it'll be okay. So it's really getting dark now. I'm almost back to my car, but I can't wait to get back there so I can get my camera out and try to get some shots of this large moon behind me. So that's it, and we will see you on the next photography adventure. Over and out.